As you roll out changes, you want to be listening to your stakeholders, getting their feedback, and then working with them to improve the entire design of the product as you go through its entire life cycle.
Ben, Vikram, thank you so much for being here. This first question is for you, Ben. How do you bring employees along for the journey when it comes to embedding AI systems?
I think that's a great question. And I think first is early, getting rapid iteration on these things, both in terms of concepts as well as how the solution is working, to make sure that you're addressing the things that are impacting their day to day. And then as you deploy, making sure you have champion networks and peer learning in a way that they can adopt them that fits into the rhythm of work, and using these processes to continually improve. These things are iterative and we keep improving as we go forward.
Vikram, at Cisco, how do you think about co-creating AI solutions with employees?
Yeah, that's a great question, because the one thing that we have learned at Cisco is that AI is more a human-centered change than a technical one. So it's really important to involve the stakeholders or your customers in the entire process. And what we are doing is in basically designing AI with our stakeholders rather than for them. And what that does is it turns AI from being a tops-down change across the organization to one that's more collaborative. So it builds more trust as well as empathy, as well as partnership within the organization. So we do this with all our stakeholders, particularly in customer experience, which is the organization that I'm part of. We work with our renewals, and we understand their pain points, we understand their use cases, and we also design what good looks like. And it's not only important to do this upfront, but it's also important to do this through the entire life cycle. As you roll out changes, you want to be listening to your stakeholders, getting their feedback, and then working with them to improve the entire design of the product as you go through its entire life cycle. So that's what I would say. I think that's something. Co-creation is what that builds trust and makes I would say the change sustained over time.
Ben, how should companies be balancing productivity with AI and also enhancing the employee experience?
We need to put employees at the center of this transformation. It's AI and productivity are both at all-time high in quarterly reports and earnings, discussions. And so I think there's an element of how do we humanize this change and focus on what's going to be driving their employee satisfaction. At BCG, we look at, how do we eliminate toil and drive joy in the process? And so as you're driving the co-creation, it's really about focusing on the things that are going to improve their satisfaction, but also correlate with the productivity and the value that we hope to gain out of these solutions.
Vikram, what advice do you have for other leaders that are in the midst of their AI transformation journey?
Sure. I would say it's three things. One, we talked about the co-creation, and that's really important to sustain the AI change. The second thing that I would talk about is around getting the data right. And it doesn't have to be right up front, but getting the data improved over time using a number of different ways is important as well. And the third element I would talk about is learning. Learning, we have learned, is one of the key enablers for AI. And so we do this through structured learning programs, like things like AI for Everyone, as well as the belt certifications that we have, the white belt, green belt, and black belt. But we also have a lot of unstructured learning, which is things like playgrounds, as well as places where employees can connect with each other and basically learn from each other. That peer learning is what really helps. So I think it's a blending of that learning as well as the co-creation. I think those are key things that I would emphasize for any organization trying to roll out AI.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you so much.